Hello everybody, this is Troy. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. We'll be getting started with the crypto webinar at this time. Before we get going, just a quick systems check. Type OK in the chat box if you're hearing me clearly and seeing my screen all right. Okay, great. I've got enough responses. Thank you very much. All right, so interesting day for cryptos. The past 24 hours to 48 hours has been full of opportunity, really, and also looking through today, it looks like there's good potential for some really large movements. So we'll be taking a look at the charts and the fundamental news maybe behind this that's driving the movements, and really there's some opportunistic entry points that have come about, and we'll take a look at that and how the movements might relate actually to gold today and the U.S.-China potential signing of a trade deal today. So as always, understand all investments have risk. The same is true when you're trading cryptocurrencies with Forex, spread betting, options, trading CFDs. There's risk involved. There's no guarantee on any one move that you're going to profit. So you obviously want to risk manage in a way with trade sizes and stop losses or hedge positions, whatever's right for you in terms of your risk. You can read our full risk disclosure statement on AvaTrade's main website. Now, with that said, quite obviously, with risk also sometimes comes reward as well. There's a good potential for nice profits. That's why we're all here. Near a third of traders, as you can see the statistic on the slide here, near a third of all traders that trade with AvaTrade are able to profit long term. And you might think, well, that's a low percentage. It's pretty good, because a lot of people get into this type of trading and they really don't know what they're doing. They don't take it seriously. They don't educate themselves. They're just kind of gambling and buying and selling on anything. And that sort of thing, you just slowly lose your funds to the spread and to the swaps. And if you don't have something that actually helps you be right more than you're wrong, or a strategy that helps you profit more than you lose. So that's why we're all here, right? To become part of, hopefully, that, if you haven't already, that third or so of traders with us, and hopefully that grows as more people educate themselves. And hopefully it flips, and I'd love to see 71% be long-term profitable, and the smaller number be the ones who are losing. So how do you do that? Well, you educate yourself, you find information, you use tools, you become better at what you're doing, and certainly that can be done in the bigger picture for any of you as you go along with your trading plan, and add tools to your tool belt, so to speak, to become better traders. And so from an educational perspective then, not from a financial advisement perspective, we're going to go over some ideas, some information, some strategies on the live charts, and hopefully help you even make moves today if you like the setup to go after some potential nice profits. Now, if we take a look at some of the fundamental news that came out over the past day or so, okay, first of all, we'll come back to these economic announcements in a little bit. These are the headlines. This is what I'm seeing. Crypto market sentiment jumps up, okay? This was yesterday reported. And so what do we see? Increased sentiment on all the top crypto brands. Look at that. 20% increase, 10.6% increase, 24% increase over the last 7 days in value of the asset. And you see the sentiment scores here. Anything in 6 is in the positive zone. And we've got Bitcoin up there. We've got Ethereum in the upper end of the neutral zone. Same with Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, etc. Litecoin, EOS. So a lot of positive sentiment right now in the market with the cryptos in general, not just one brand. We look at other headlines, Bitcoin and altcoins in steep uptrend. Okay, this is today, reporting today, what has already occurred, right? It's good. So it's good to know what already occurred. It's good to get the feel of the headlines from yesterday and today. Seems positive sentiment. We look here, today's movement up, 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 EOS, Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Okay. And then Uh, this is an interesting article. Now BitPay maybe is a little bit biased, right? They make their money doing transactions with Bitcoin, uh, but they believe like in the heyday here, year and a half ago or whatever, when Bitcoin hit 20,000, they believe it's going to happen again this year. They're saying, and they go on to say why. Uh, it's believed by this particular company or person that runs the company that China, Russia, India could legalize Bitcoin, make it more official sometime this year. So who knows if that'll happen? But again, sentiment. People see articles like that and they like to buy on stuff when they see positive sentiment. So it's interesting to look at the headlines. Now, most of the cryptocurrencies are paired against the USD. So we probably want to know what's going on with the US dollar. US dollar is kind of flat, little to the green side. Markets don't know which way to move, kind of going sideways today, mixed between green and red. The volatility index is actually up. Some refer to that as the fear index, is up a bit today. You know, the US-China trade deal is supposed to maybe happen today with phase one being signed. Unless there's some kind of delay on it, it should be signed today, I think at the White House. So markets are kind of, I think, waiting for that. And then you'll probably see some huge movements on some of the assets once the news comes that that's signed. So a lot of potential for movement today. The markets are kind of in a holding pattern right now in a lot of the assets. So with understanding those fundamentals, let's go ahead and take a look on my demo account at the movements, at the live movements. So here's the Crypto 10 index, okay? These are what, 30-minute candles, all right? So we can see sentiment has been up. These are the top 10 cryptocurrencies by traded volume in this index, the Crypto 10. And so we can see, yeah, certainly for the past several days, couple days, since the 13th, really, a huge upward movement in the Crypto 10. So in general, the crypto industry and market has gone up, all right? And that matches what we just read on the articles. Sentiment's up. The articles from yesterday talking about climbing and upward movement, and even today, upward movement. These are 30-minute candles. So we go back 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go back about 9 or 10 hours. We were down here into the wee hours of the morning, and up went the cryptos again. Okay, but I see an interesting formation here. Does anyone see a very common, well-known formation here? This is a bit of technical analysis, jargon, I guess. We see head and shoulders, so shoulder, head, shoulder, right? We see a typical formation where maybe the upward momentum has slowed, okay? Someone's calling it a wedge. I'll go with Andrew with the head and shoulders. So yeah, if we're going to say where's the resistance level, right here, right? This first shoulder, resistance and down. Breakthrough candle became support. Breakthrough candle back down becomes resistance again. Classic formation. So upward momentum in general seems to have slowed, and we've got right on cue. If you were buying with this positive sentiment, if several hours ago you saw the information I just showed you, which was available since yesterday, if you were buying, which a lot of traders were on the Crypto 10, technical analysis, it worked perfect. It went up with the fundamental news, technical analysis wise. Look at where you take your profit. Right at that shoulder, there's the resistance level. Classic slowing of the upward momentum, right where you'd expect to take the profit. Okay. Thomas, in general, the cryptocurrencies have lower leverage than the other assets. So you need to have more in your account to trade them. You don't have to risk more, but you have to have more just to open the position because the leverage is a bit lower. Joseph, I'm sorry if you can't hear. Joseph, let me give him a message. It is just you with audio issues. Okay, we let Joseph know it's just him. All right, so So this was a classic movement. This was an easy profit right here. I have a lot of traders that were in on this from late last night, early this morning. They saw the positive sentiment scores that I showed you. Those were posted yesterday, the positive headlines, and they were buying on Crypto 10. They rode all of this up and took profit, many of them near this resistance level, this shoulder formation. So a combination of fundamental news driving the direction, technical analysis driving the exit point for those that were scalping. Okay, so very, very nice movement here. Very easy to take advantage of. By the way, if anyone has any questions as we go along, please ask or input. You're free to give. You don't have to wait to the end or anything. Interrupt me at any time. Okay, so right now we saw the volatility index was up, right? When there's volatility and fear a little bit in the markets before this U.S.-China trade deal signing, gold tends to go up, and the more risky assets tend to drop. Okay, now I believe as the U.S.-China trade deal is signed, that will flip. I think the fear will drop. People will be happy that the trade deal is signed, and you might see gold pull down. And cryptocurrencies have been mimicking gold quite a bit. If you look at the movements, when gold's climbing, cryptocurrencies have been climbing. When gold was dropping, cryptocurrencies were dropping quite often. Not 100% match up, but there's some relationship there. Why would cryptocurrencies be viewed as a safe haven like gold? Why would they go up with gold and down with gold? Fear, gold goes up. Cryptos went up. We saw the fear index today, right? It was green. The VIX. Here, let's go back and take a look. Okay, here the VIX volatility / fear index up over 1.5%, over 1.6%, and lo and behold, Crypto 10 went up, right? Yeah, not tied to any country. To answer my question, good. Some of you are right on that. It's decentralized. Cryptos are decentralized. They're not tied to a country's economy. A job report out of the U.S. or out of Great Britain or whatever is not going to mess up crypto land, right? Because crypto land it doesn't exist. It's decentralized, like oil, like gold, etc. So, all right. So if fear index is up, and look, cryptos went up also. We've seen that again and again and again. Now, what do you think is going to happen when the trade deal is signed? What do you think that fear index will do? It's probably positive momentum for the markets. So fear index might drop. What do you think cryptos might do then? If they're following the fear index, if they're following gold, there's maybe the potential here for a pullback, right? So we start to look at and we say, all right, we understand why it went up, why the cryptocurrencies went up. There was positive sentiment. There was some fear in the markets. And so, yeah, Thomas, you're saying might correct downward. It already is respecting the technical analysis, right? We see the resistance line here. We see the double wick. We see the reversal right at the same height as the other shoulder over here, head and shoulder formation. So if you were trading just technical analysis, you might say, I'm going to sell. Okay, it already respected. It's already reversing. It respected the resistance. And maybe you say only if you're a technical trader only, you might sell on this. Okay, stop loss above the resistance, small risk for much larger potential gain if it does what it did the last time it hit that level. Okay, so purely technical speaking, technical traders might already be selling on this just based on technical analysis. Now you throw in the fundamentals and you say, wow, there's reason for fear to drop today on the markets and for optimism if the U.S.-China sign a deal. So you start to say, okay, if the fear index will drop and if cryptos have been following that index, maybe this is going to keep dropping. So I would have no problem. And again, you don't take trades because I do it on my demo account here, right? You take trades because it makes sense to you. But I would have no problem taking some kind of move to sell on maybe the Crypto 10 on a market move, put my stop loss somewhere up here above the resistance, let's say 29.3. So I could go back, modify, Stop loss 2829.3. Okay. Oh, sorry, I got to get it up above that. Let me see here, 28. Let's say 2859. 2859. We got to get it high enough to be the right distance away. There we go. And boom. Okay, so now I've got my stop loss above the head and shoulders. And I could even say, and I like to do this a lot, I get 2 resistance levels for my stop loss to be passed. That way, if it spikes this one, I don't get out. It would really have to be momentum to break the head on this head and shoulders. And so if it hits here, then I give up on my sell. Just an example. It's not how you'd have to do it. But now you can be patient in case it climbs a bit more. And when the trade deal's signed, if it then plunges down, tremendous. Okay. And you could also, if it was going to come back up here, take a trade size that you could re-enter at a better price. If you still expect, even if it breaks above, that it'll drop, what kind of pending order could you put up here at the head resistance level up here? Kind of pending order would sell from a higher point to give yourself a better entry if the market move goes bad. Yeah, sell limit. Exactly. Sell limit. So you could also put a pending sell limit up here. Take only a portion of the trade size you're willing to do from here if you like a market move, right? I'm not telling you to do a market move, but if you like the idea, and then you can save yourself enough free margin that you could re-enter from a better price with a sell limit if it happens to go that way. Okay, that way you have kind of a 1-2 setup. You're being patient on the resistance, on the stop loss on the first move. Maybe the stop loss on the second move is also just above this resistance, and you can re-enter from a better price if it climbs up there. Okay, it hasn't broken this shoulder formation yet, so it looks like it's trying to respect that at the moment. So just some ideas, okay? Not something you have to do, but it's an idea with what looks to be good potential for movement today. Okay. Now, if you believe that that positive momentum is going to carry, by all means, take a market buy, right? Take a market buy and only sell from this resistance level if you feel better with that. But the point here is there's huge potential for movement. Okay. All right. So if we look at some individual brands, then Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin looks just like the crypto 10, right? Almost the same. The head and shoulder formation isn't as pretty, okay? But we see the high point, we see the shoulder over here and the shoulder over here. Right now, it's still trying to climb, so you might be patient on Bitcoin. You might wait and see if it's going to start a downtrend on the 5-minute candles. If it breaks this high point, then maybe you don't sell yet and you sell from a higher resistance if you're looking for a pullback. If it respects this and starts to drop to a new low point below here, maybe that confirms downtrend to you. So each individual brand doesn't move exactly the same. We can look at Ethereum. Okay, same thing, still bullish, also still has not broken the resistance, right? Resistance, uptrend, trying to test the resistance up here. Ripple, same thing, at the resistance, still testing. Litecoin, very similar, okay? Has 2 resistance levels, the current that it's testing and the higher resistance that if you're more patient, you could wait to enter from the higher resistance if you're looking for a pullback, right? That's if you're looking for a pullback. If you're looking and you think the momentum is up, you could obviously make a move if it breaks this resistance to buy, okay? And there's no reason why you can't do both. You could have a buy stop to buy if it breaks this resistance, buy stop up here, pending order. And then if it gets to the next resistance level, you got your sell stop ready to go from a better entry point for a sell. So buy stop, sell stop combination could work out very well as well. It's an option there. Seems to be respecting the resistance though in general right now. So if you're looking to buy, it might make sense to wait for confirmation of the broken resistance and get in on a buy stop. if you're looking to buy on the market right now. Any questions so far? Questions, comments? Okay, now, yeah, certainly. Some of you are asking, do you wait for the fear index maybe to drop before you sell, right? And that's not a bad idea, right? So if you believe that the VIX index is a leading indicator, then you might say, okay, right now it's still climbing. It went from 1.6 to 1.9. The fear is still rising. So shouldn't the cryptos rise if they follow it? If that's how you feel, then yeah, maybe it's not time to sell on those cryptos yet. Maybe it's you're going with the upward momentum. So maybe you keep an eye on this and you make a rule for yourself that if this drops back down to 1.5 or 1.4, then you check out if the cryptos are reversing back down and make your move. Okay? So you start to create a strategy for yourself, a checklist. If you think there's a relationship between the safe havens and cryptos, and the safe havens are still rising, maybe you have a rule. I'm waiting for a reversal on either gold or on the VIX index before I bank on a reversal on the cryptos. Okay? So, or maybe you want confirmatory. Maybe one's not leading the other all the time, but maybe if they're both reversing at the same time, that gives you confidence. Okay? So, just some ideas that I've seen work well with cryptocurrencies over the past year. Keeping an eye on gold and the fear/volatility index, and trying to coordinate a strategy with the cryptos with opportunistic entry points at proper price levels, support and resistance levels. Okay, you try it out. Try it out. Try the strategy. See if you can get it to work for yourself. And I think it can be very helpful to keep an eye on the safe havens and see if that clues you in as to reversal points and direction for these cryptocurrencies. All right. Now, one other thing to keep an eye on is the U.S. dollar, obviously. U.S. dollar could strengthen today with the U.S.-China trade deal signing. If they sign it today, U.S. dollar certainly could strengthen. And also there's some announcements on the USD later today. Some high-level announcements, the PPI numbers month over month. There's crude oil inventories coming in, some high-level announcements that can affect the strength of the USD. So because the crypto 10 and most of these crypto pairings are against the USD, it's good to keep an eye on that. Okay. If the US dollar has reason to strengthen today, doesn't that also help pull Bitcoin and others down that are paired against it? Okay. With the US-China trade deal likely being signed today, there's maybe good reason for the USD to strengthen, that you could anticipate that could happen. And so then another reason on your checklist that maybe you think the cryptocurrencies paired against the USD have a reason maybe to drop. Okay. So just some ideas to keep in mind. Any questions? I think we've covered what we need to cover for the major idea today in the crypto market. US-China trade deal, the fear/volatility index, and why don't we take a quick look at gold? And so what do we see on gold? It climbed. Okay, these are 5-minute candles. Gold climbed, but it also has reached a peak and it's ranging. You see that? Why is gold ranging? Up, down, up, down, up, down. The whole market's ranging right now, waiting for this trade deal, it seems. So if you see gold is down here and breaks this support, if gold breaks the support level, what do you think the cryptos might do? If gold breaks the support level, which it looks like it's trying to do, what do you think might happen with cryptocurrencies? Okay. If you believe there's a relationship between the safe havens and cryptos, right? If gold breaks the support, maybe that's another clue that the cryptocurrencies could follow it down. Okay. David and Andrew and some others, you're saying it will follow it down. I would use the word could. Okay. Nothing's ever certain, but it's one more thing on your checklist to improve your win percentage, hopefully, to give you one more reason to believe in that move. Okay. And so try it out. Try pairing the movement of the safe havens, both the volatility index and gold, and try and see the relationship between the cryptocurrencies and see if you can use technical analysis along with it to get confirmatory movements to go in the direction that makes the most sense for you. And I believe you can improve your win percentage that way. In the end, your P&L. Okay. All right, great. I think this is a good place to stop today. You've got a couple things to keep an eye on to try and match that up with your entry and exit points for cryptocurrencies. Good luck. I think you can do well, and I expect big movements today. I really do. Okay. All right. Good luck. Come back next week to the cryptocurrency webinar. Let me know how you did. All right. All right. Bye for now.